Quarterbacks, Gerry. Derek said yesterday that he didn't care as much about the one-on-ones and the 7-on-7s. He cared more about the situational football and evaluating those guys. What do you think he means by that? Why is that?
Well, I think how do you handle third downs? How do you handle the red zone and those kind of situations is important. I think, when you look at us offensively, over the past, 2 or 3 years, we've been really good in the red zone at times. Last year we weren't as good. We really haven't been as good on third down. And I think if we can make a jump on third down, it's going to propel us to be a lot better offense.
We get to see like the first 20 minutes of practice or whatever. We see Deuce getting the first snaps one day, then we see Riley getting the first snaps the next day, and they alternate. What should we gather from that?
It's a battle right now. It really is. I mean, it's probably, in my career, as tight as a battle as I've seen. They're both doing really good things. They both have made plays and really, shined at times. And so it's an interesting battle right now, and they're doing a great job just kind of, taking one day at a time, one play at a time, and grinding through it. And it's interesting right now.
So you're okay that's a positive thing that it's that tight at this point? Yeah,
definitely. They're both playing well. Obviously at some point you'd like to make a decision, and that time's probably coming, here in the next, week or so, I would say. And so it's going to be tough on the coaching staff to get it figured out.
Were you ever in a quarterback competition as a player back in the day?
Not quite like this. I think this is kind of unique. I think I said before, Riley, has game experience, but not here, and Deuce has a lot of experience in our offense, and so it's just an interesting dynamic between the two of them right now.
What do you see each of those guys doing well?
I think Riley probably has a little bit of the bigger arm. Can make some throws down the field. Like Deuce has a really good understanding of the offense and anticipates throws really well. And just has a plan all the time about where he wants to go with the ball. And, Riley's rushed for over 1,000 yards in his career, at Ball State, so he can definitely take off and run when he needs to. But I think, they both right now would give us a chance to win if either one of them was in the game.
Derek said he gets charts of those guys each day. What does that mean? What's on a chart?
Well, we just try to kind of keep track of their production. How they went. In the throwing game, what we would kind of consider mental errors did they make. So we just try to keep track of that kind of stuff every day, and that stuff's good to have, but ultimately, it doesn't necessarily come down to a number. It's going to come down to who we feel is going to give us the best chance to win when we tee it off.
Does one of them run better than the other?
I don't know. I think they both can run. They both can run well. I think Riley probably has a little more experience running in some of the stuff that he's done, but they both can run.
I have a non-quarterback question.
All right.
You have Jared Pinkney, so you have a good player there, but you have Schoenwald, you have Bresnahan. Are you going to use tight ends because you have talent there, or do you like using tight ends in your offense? You have a background somewhat of preferring a tight end.
We like using tight ends, and those two young guys are all the time, they're getting better every day and are trying to put themselves in a position to get on the field. I think ultimately, what we're going to look at is, who we think are our, 5 best skill type players, and try to get them out on the field as much as possible. And if it's another tight end, another wide receiver, another running back, whatever that might be, that's who we'll try to get on the field.
Are they both better catching the ball than blocking right now, or does it kind of depend?
Yeah, it kind of depends. I think they both have talent catching the ball, and being young guys and blocking SEC defensive linemen, I think that's obviously where they're trying to get better and trying to make progress.
We're 2 weeks into camp. What is the thing that you're most pleased about? What is your biggest concern or question?
I think the overall just the effort that the guys have made. I think we're coming together as an offense as far as trying to build the culture and maintain the culture that we want to have. So that's probably the most pleasing thing. And you're always concerned just about depth at different spots, and making sure you got enough guys that are getting ready to play that if something happens down the road, they're going to be ready to go.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.